grow up watching Dragon Ball Z like I did? Coming home from school and gluing yourself to Toonami, playing the Game Boy games, or even drawing the characters when it wasn't on? Aside from the Pokemon games, it was practically my entire childhood. With the release of Dragon Ball Super, the franchise has yet again exploded with popularity in America, potentially on par with how it was in the early 2000s. And of course, it renewed my interests as well, which never really died. This obsession from my youth has resulted in a vivid memory of the original series, and in some cases, a ridiculous attention to detail. Now, I want to do something fun. Today, I will use these memory powers to try and correctly place all of the Dragon Ball Z movies into the series timeline. For those who don't know, there were a total of 15 movies made as the original run of the series was airing. Now, let me make a couple of clarifications before other experts start blowing up the comments section. First of all, this whole thing is a what-if scenario. Most of these movies can't be realistically added to the timeline. The real title of this video should be something like, where the Dragon Ball Z movies fit into the original series if the events in question actually happen, but that's just too damn long. Anyway, I'm fully aware that 13 of the 15 movies are not canon to the series. Secondly, the 2 movies that are canon are referred to as specials and not typically grouped with the others. And I'm going to cover those at some point just because. Also, it's easier to just say 15 movies. So, let's move on. I'm going to discuss each movie in the order that they were released. Some of them require less evidence than others to place, and I'm going to do my absolute best not to miss anything. Sit back and enjoy. Here we go.
Grandpa, hi.
We're starting off these timeline placements easy with the first film, Dead Zone. The villain in this movie is Garlic Jr. Released only a few months after the Dragon Ball Z anime began, this movie takes place before the arrival of Raditz. How do I know? Well, that's easy. Goku is still alive. And despite the absence of Tien, Yamcha, and Chaozu, who were all killed by Nappa, there's no other period where Goku is alive while Gohan is that young. The bond between Piccolo and Gohan is also not yet developed. And, in looking at the main series, because the 4-star Dragon Ball is not made of stone when Raditz kidnaps Gohan, Dead Zone would have to be at least a year prior to the series, because Garlic Jr. uses the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality. As a result, Gohan defeats him by sealing him inside the Dead Zone, a portal of his own creation.
I knew you'd come to rescue me.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Look at that. We're only one movie deep, and there were already a number of conditions that had to be met to place it. Maybe this one wasn't so easy. I almost overlooked that last detail about the Dragon Balls. This movie has a unique property though, because there is a Garlic Jr. saga in the series where he returns. It takes place right after Frieza is defeated. The entire arc is filler, but strategically placed during the time when Goku is still returning to Earth before Trunks shows up. So in a sense, the movie has already placed itself in the timeline. Let's see what's next. The second movie, titled The World's Strongest, is about a pair of scientists, Doctors Cochin and Wheelo, who want to challenge Master Roshi to a fight with their bio-warriors. Little to their outdated knowledge, Goku has far surpassed Master Roshi as the strongest person on Earth, and he hands Dr. Wheelo his ass. This movie has some serious problems concerning placement. Once again, these 3 are absent. And this is obviously after Gohan's wilderness training, given his outfit and relationship with Piccolo. Goku also possesses Kaioken and the Spirit Bomb, meaning he's trained with King Kai. It would be safe to say this could have happened after the fight with Vegeta and Nappa, right? Nope! At the start of the movie, Dr. Cochin uses the Dragon Balls to free Dr. Wheelo from his icy prison. But what about the wish to revive Goku to fight the Saiyans? They didn't wait a year to go to Namek, and Piccolo is still alive. Nappa killed Piccolo, rendering the Dragon Balls useless.
No sweat.
Yeah, he was pretty fucking dead. So unfortunately, this movie can't be squeezed into the timeline at all, thanks to the wish conflict. I mean, even if during the fight they said, "Hold on, Vegeta, there are other bad guys to deal with. We'll be back." The two wishes would have had to have been made at virtually the same time. Final verdict, this movie fits during the few minutes where Goku is wished back to life before Piccolo is killed in a universe where there are 2 sets of Dragon Balls. You know, I don't watch this movie too often. It's a shame. You get some good Master Roshi action. Look, Gohan's got a bowl cut. And look, everyone's alive. Well, I can already tell you the third movie can't be placed either. This one is called The Tree of Might, and is about a Goku lookalike Saiyan named Turles who comes to Earth for similar reasons as Raditz, to kill everyone on the planet in Goku's place. They plant a seed that grows into a big-ass tree that essentially saps the life out of the Earth to produce a fruit that makes Turles insanely strong. So basically, it's Spirit Bomb fruit. Goku melons. Spoilers, Goku wins again, but he doesn't win by becoming a Super Saiyan, and that's a problem. Let me explain. Based on everyone being alive, Gohan's bowl cut in friendship with Piccolo, and restoring the forest Turles destroyed with the Dragon Balls, it would have to be after Frieza. Remember, they go through 2 cycles of Namekian Dragon Ball wishes to get Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu back to life, but Goku refuses to be wished to Earth in that moment. We can't place it before the Vegeta fight either, because Goku is still dead.
What?
So, in the end, we're left with more complications than we have with the world's strongest. Safe to say this movie just doesn't fit. And maybe Goku just didn't feel like going Super Saiyan. Yeah, but that argument doesn't really work with what happens in the 4th movie.
Attention! We hereby claim this planet. From this moment on, it belongs to Lord Slug.
It's time for Lord Slug. Yeah, right, slugs are nasty.
Slugs are nasty.
So you've got this Namekian asshole who turns on the AC for the entire planet and then uses the Dragon Balls to wish for eternal youth.
Great dragon, there is one thing that my wealth can't buy. I want to be young again and never grow old. I want eternal youth!
By the end of this movie, Goku enters this weird hybrid ascension thing that looks like a mix between Kaioken and Super Saiyan to gain the upper hand against Mr. Slug. King Kai then assertively theorizes that Goku must have transformed into a Super Saiyan.
Goku must have transformed into a Super Saiyan.
Well, since Goku is not quite a Super Saiyan, this would have to be before Namek and Frieza. And with Piccolo still alive, this makes for our 3rd debunked movie in a row.
If you've come to apply for the soldier jobs, use the side entrance.
Thanks, but no thanks. We're both self-employed.
Alright, who's next? Thank King Yama Goku turns Super Saiyan in this movie. Makes things so much easier. Not to mention Cooler is revealed as being Frieza's brother. The title says it all, concerning what this movie's about. Revenge.
Frieza! But how?
Not much to say here, honestly. The safest spot to place it is right after Trunks returns to the future. There is a 3-year time skip between Frieza and the androids, and Gohan is still younger here. The homework scenario at the beginning complicates things a bit though.
Well, what's more important, camping or homework?
Chi-Chi, I'm not an idiot. Every parent knows the answer to that. Camping, of course.
Chi-Chi agrees to let Gohan ignore his studies to train for the androids in the series, in exchange that he becomes a scholar when it's all over.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
Assuming they already know about the androids, for them to go camping, of course, in a time where every second counts is pretty unlikely. But in the end, I still deem this movie plausibly relevant.
What is it? An eclipse?
The film immediately following Cooler's Revenge was its sequel, The Return of Cooler. For this 6th movie, Goku, Gohan, and Piccolo travel to New Namek with Master Roshi, Oolong, and Yajirobe. Upon arrival, they find that Cooler survived and has become a living planet thing that mass-produces android versions of his former self.
You're Cooler.
This time, both Goku and Vegeta are Super Saiyans, but not Gohan. The only real obstacle this movie faces is Goku's viral heart disease. In the series, the first time Vegeta reveals that he's a Super Saiyan to everyone else is during the fight with Android 19, which is also when Goku succumbs to the heart virus. By the time he recovers, Cell is already on the hunt for the android.
So it's back to the hyperbolic time chamber.
Goku doesn't waste any time making arrangements to train in the hyperbolic time chamber, along with Gohan, Vegeta, and Trunks. So, casting aside the initial absurdity of leaving the Earth during a crisis to take a vacation on Namek, this is the best place in the timeline for the return of Cooler. That is, before any of these guys enter the hyperbolic time chamber. I base that deduction on Gohan's uncut hair, and again, lack of Super Saiyan abilities. And that's officially the end of Cooler, for good. But hey, the movie fits. Barely. Don't worry though, we're gonna squeeze in a couple more right here. Let's assume that everyone really wants to forget about Cell for a while, procrastinating until the last possible minute.
Check it out! It looks like that mud wrestling I showed you on TV once, remember?
Mom says she loves to shop so much because it's a stress reliever.
I wonder if it works.
After a ruined vacation on Namek, everyone decides to go into town and shop at the mall. Just when they're getting over the army of mechanical coolers, Goku is targeted by a couple of androids who destroy the entire city to get to him. Okay, maybe they didn't destroy the entire city, but anyway, that's the only way this movie will fit, if it's within the same week as the return of Cooler, again before the time chamber, making the window that much smaller. Gohan is still not a Super Saiyan, but the dead giveaway is Trunks' hair still being short.
A pawn with no free will of its own, is that it?
Don't you lecture me with your $30 haircut. Goku dies.
It gets pretty damn long after he comes out of that time chamber.
Number 13, you are now complete. Awake! Awake, my son!
Not to talk about the entire movie, but at this point, Dr. Gero is already dead and had a secret reserve of androids taking orders from a supercomputer. I probably don't have to tell you that things don't work out for the bad guys, but we can squeeze this one right next to the return of Cooler. Between Namek, a ruined shopping spree, and the Cell games coming up, you may think that Goku and his friends are having the worst week of their lives. Well, think again.
So I'd say you won the first round.